Hi everyone, it's Mark here, and as I'm sure you remember, we had an awesome service on Sunday dealing specifically with the fact that in Galatians 5 from verse 13 there are some very valuable principles and truths that can help us to walk in true freedom. And I explained that there were three main takeaways from this text that I could give you, which was, number one, free people will free people. And number two, the biggest struggle we face is the struggle between the flesh and the spirit, and how the spirit was always meant to be the dominating force in your life. In other words, you in partnership with the Holy Spirit, walking in step with the Spirit, and if you do so, then you won't gratify the desires of the flesh. But the flesh is constantly trying to fight its way back because it wants to be looked after, it wants to be pampered, and it wants to be treated well. And then the conclusion, which is the last part, which is that we should keep in step with the Spirit. Now in Galatians 5:13 it says this, it says, "For you were called to freedom, brothers, only do not use your freedom as an opportunity for the flesh, but through love serve one another." And then it carries on all the way to the end of the chapter, and it concludes with this statement. It says, "If we live by the Spirit, let us also keep in step with the Spirit, and let us not become conceited, provoking one another and envying one another." And so we can see from the bulk of this text that if we truly want to walk in the freedom that Jesus has provided for us, then we have to come to an understanding that we are who God says we are, that we are fundamentally spiritual beings that live in a body. So we're spirits that have souls that live inside of a body, and if we connect to God and we are in sync with Him, then the spiritual truths and the spiritual reality will govern our everyday lives. And then we will not be subject to the flesh. And when we walk in this freedom, we can then very easily see how other people are struggling and how to uplift them and bring them into their identity and help them walk out their salvation through the Spirit. So I hope this blesses you. One question I'd like to leave you with as you think about this is, if the Spirit has set us free from the desires of the flesh, how free are we? So I hope that this blesses you. Have an awesome week further. Cheers.